It's been 18 years since the 28 Days Later sequel, which of course was 28 weeks later, and now so many years later, we get 28 years later. Does it live up to the original, since we got the original creators coming back with Danny Boyle directing and Alex Garland writing? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into Danny Boyle's new film, 28 Years Later. Before we do, please do not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. I'm trying to get this little channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. If I do, I'll be giving away a free $150 gift card to a random subscriber. Comment down below for a higher chance of winning. I will say this was on my list of most anticipated films of the year. Of course, the original 28 Days Later was just a groundbreaking movie, especially in the zombie genre. And now a lot of people will say it's not a zombie movie, it's more of a pandemic movie, but still, it's humans running after you, trying to eat you, trying to bite you. It's a zombie movie. But it was just so different. It was filmed on a camcorder. It looked so grungy. It was so shaky. It had just a different feel to it from anything you've seen from a zombie movie. And I believe that was the first zombie film I've seen where the zombies actually were just in a dead sprint after you. It made it a lot more scary than zombies from far away, just slowly walking towards you, and you had a chance to shoot them all in the head. These ones would come out of nowhere and in groups, and it felt way more grounded and realistic to the real world. I actually was a fan of 28 Weeks Later, even though Boyle was not part of that film, and I guess he kind of retcons that movie here in 28 Years Later because they don't really mention it, and there's a lot of stuff that happens in 28 Weeks Later that they kind of just ignore. That had me confused because I did not know they retconned that part of the film until after I watched and did a little bit of research. And when 28 Years Later came out with the trailer, it was the best trailer I'd seen in some time, especially with that boots noise I know a lot of you already have heard. Moving up and down again. So it goes back to me having 20 Years Later on one of the most anticipated movies of 2025. Now, of course, did it live up to that hype? Unfortunately, I will say coming out of this movie, I was quite disappointed. Now, I will say that the Danny Boyle filmmaking is still there. The cinematography looks great. A lot of the scenery looks amazing. It does not look like Danny Boyle half-assed anything. And I was trying to think about it while I was watching the film, because while I was watching this movie, I was realizing there's a lot of good stuff in this, but I don't care or feel anything for these characters, first of all. And there's a lot of story choices that just throw you off or don't make much sense. A lot of people have known that this movie was filmed on an iPhone. There's a lot of moments you can tell, and it looks digitalized. And there's a lot of different editing techniques they do in this film, I think, to try to make it different, and it just did not work for me. During the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of cutscenes that I thought were pretty cool, especially one with some zombie-looking characters and some red all over it. I thought that was some really cool graphics. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But then there was other moments that I didn't understand what they were going for. And in this film, the zombies have definitely evolved from the original, and I don't know if I find them at all near as interesting as they were back in 28 Days Later. And a simple premise of waking up in an abandoned city after you've been knocked out for that much time and not knowing what is going on is a pretty creepy thought. And in this film, it feels like more of just a straightforward zombie movie, kind of like The Last of Us, where you got two characters who are on a journey, and that's all of it. Aaron Taylor Johnson was in less of the movie than I expected him to be in, and when he was on screen, I actually liked the dynamic with him and his son, who's played by Alfie Williams, he is the lead of this film. Now, he's not a bad actor, no, but again, it was hard for me to get attached to whatever he was going for, and some of the motives, because it felt like they were a little out there and just kind of dumb, to be honest. And you can tell this movie's been written by Alex Garland, because in the last few years, he's been doing this thing with movies where he doesn't want to give you answers to a lot of stuff. The first few times he has done it, it is a cool creative direction, but in this film, I just did not think it worked as much. There's some really gnarly and gruesome kills in this film. A lot of it seemed a little bit more like shock factor to me than actually moving the story forward. Again, I feel like I'm spewing out so much negativity about this movie, and it's really not that bad of a movie. It is a well-made movie. It's just, again, I was expecting a lot more out of it. Now, I know this is supposed to be the first of 3 parts. There were supposed to be 2 more movies being made after this, so maybe those will improve this movie, because this movie doesn't give you many answers to what is actually going on, which leads me to my least favorite part of the film, and that is the last little scene of the movie. That seems like it came absolutely out of nowhere. Really odd stuff, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. 20 Years Later has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, guys, that just means that 92% of critics give it better than a 50% rating. That does not mean all of them have given it a 9 out of 10 or better. And that's kind of where I stand, is I would recommend someone check it out, because there could be a lot of people that really do like this movie and are not disappointed in it the way I was disappointed in it. All the actors are decent. The story is whatever. The writing is not bad. A lot of editing choices that I was just not a fan of. But of course, if he does make the next 2 movies, I will be there to see it in the theaters, because Danny Boyle is just a great filmmaker through and through. So in the end, I will go ahead and give 28 Years Later a 55 out of 100. Have you guys seen it? Did you like it a lot more than I did? Because I could see a lot of people liking this movie. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Movie Dive.